welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a review. Let's review my reading in March. It's not what I wanted, nor what I expected to be reading in some cases. However, March was a time in my life where the mental health took a deep dive into the abyss, and we're okay with that because we're back out the other side. But for a period of time, I was not available to function as a human. I slumped a little bit, and I didn't read everything I was supposed to read, but it was Marvelathon month, so I still got quite a few points for Marvelathon. I haven't totaled it all up, but every single book that I read counted in some way towards Marvelathon, so that bit I was happy about. And the fact that we had, like, if I can get the spreadsheet up, we had like 72 people on Team OG and 49 people on Team New Gen, and there were thousands of books submitted and hundreds of thousands of pages read, and the support, and I sold so many bookmarks. It was just so much fun. Next time with more planning, next year with more planning, I'm hoping to do different things, merch-wise. Possibly some t-shirts on Redbubble if I can get the design sorted. But yeah, thank you so much if you took part in any way, shape or form in Marvelathon. Even if you read one book and submitted 10 points by watching an episode of a series. If you took part in any way, shape or form, thank you so much. But a massive special thank you goes out to all my team captains. You were all freaking fabulous, and Marloes was amazing with the bookmark designs. I wholeheartedly appreciate you for that as well. And another massive shout out goes to Andy, who consistently repped Marvelathon like the whole month, and Tori and Catherine, who also did like Marvelathon sprints and shared and retweeted. I mean, everybody, thank you to everyone, but they specifically like ran Marvelathon sprints and things, so I just wanted to give a shout out to them as well. So thank you so much to everyone, and obviously you know who the team captains were. You were all fabulous, and you made the running of Marvelathon so much easier, and I can't wait for next year. And I hope if some of you come back, they know that I've done a good job organising a fun readathon. If you really would like to get involved in Marvelathon next time, I will leave the Twitter links down below, and if you subscribe to my channel you will see when I announce the next one. But there is a Twitter and I do put updates on there. I will be announcing the theme for next year's like later on this year once I've got some more things in place. But if you keep your fingers crossed that everything goes well, I'm looking to do this March time next year as well. I might do a mini 40-hour Marvelathon, readathon later on this year, but I just need to see if I can get things planned first. But anyway, thank you very much to everyone who was involved, everyone who submitted points, joined lives, shouted out about the readathon in any shape or form. You were all freaking amazing, so thank you. And then on to what I read. In total, I read 5,975 pages, which I know sounds like a lot. That was 18 books. And again, I know that in the grand scheme of things, that's a lot, but compared to what I wanted to read, it's not what I wanted to read. So, yeah. In total, there was 77.5 hours on audio that I read. And I didn't DNF any books, thankfully. The breakdown were 10 5 stars, 1 4.5 star, 5 4 stars, 1 3.5 star, and 1 2 star. I'm gonna start with the one that I gave the lowest rating to, and I'm really not gonna go into much detail about this book. It is on the podcast. It was a podcast book for March. It was Crescent Moon, gave it 2 stars. Not gonna go too much into detail other than just saying specifically this book just wasn't for me. And this is no shade to the author, no shade whatsoever. I do have AJ Double's other book on my Kindle ready to read. It has a different vibe to this, so that may be more up my street. but this particular one just didn't work for me. So that we'll be getting Unholds to either Becca or Meg. Me and Jem are both rehoming the books, so yeah. The next one, I'm going to do my 3.5 star, I think. Next one I give 3.5 stars to is Witch. I did really enjoy this. It isn't my favourite, and for what it is, it's long. It's long. It's thick and it's long. I think this was based off a series, a cartoon series. From what I've heard, I'm sure somebody mentioned this used to be on TV. But this is part 1, the 12 portals. There's different parts and different, it's quite a lengthy like series as a whole, I think. But I'm interested in continuing this. It follows a group of girls that finds out that they have powers, and there's betrayals by one of them, and it's like the chosen one trope, and it is really interesting. It was a very much needed palette cleanser because I cried so much over many things in the month of March. Some mental health related, a lot of them book related and musical theatre related. So that was fun. We're gonna go through the 4 stars. So 4 stars, first one, Hawkeye, Life as a Weapon. I think that's what it is. I'll put a picture up here. This was a quick graphic novel that I wanted to read again as a palette cleanser. I wanted to read something that I didn't have to buy. And I'd gone through all my graphic novels at this point because there's 2 more that I'm going to show you in a second. And this is one of Jem's favourites. I give it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I think I prefer the graphic novels of Avengers when they're working as a team in like a battle thing. This is like Hawkeye and his life that's sort of like away from the Avengers. It gets into some trouble. But it was fun, and it was a very much needed palette cleanser, and it was a quick read that I needed, and it got me a lot of points from Marvelathon. So next 2 were rereads, and these are Black Widow comics, graphic novels, whatever you want to call them, books volumes 1 and 2. It's I Am Black Widow and Ties That Bind. I don't know which way around it goes. One's 1, one's 2, and these were both 4 stars. This follows, again, I've just realised, this follows like Black Widow, which is not part of the Avengers. Something happens in the first one, like before the first one. I think there might be some things before this that sort of lead you to the situation that she's in this one. But I get confused with these graphic novels because they're all written by different people. There's loads of different art styles, and I don't know what's supposed to follow on from what. Because at the beginning of this, she's in a situation I think you're supposed to know more about. But if you don't, then it is kind of confusing as to why she's in this situation. Being very vague, because, spoilers, but again, it was really good. I do think there is only one, I think there's only 1 volume left. I do want the other one of this to finish off the series. I think there's only 1 left. I don't know. Maybe. Next up we have, was it 5 4 stars then? Did I say 5 4 stars? I must have done. Scales and Sensibility. This is so cute. This was, again, cozy fantasy vibes. It's not high stakes. There's shenanigans. There's this young lady. It gives me similar vibes to Miss Percy's Guide to the Care and Feeding of British Dragons. This is like Regency era, and there's this dragons. So this follows a girl called Eleanor who things have happened to her parents. She's living with her auntie and her cousin, and they don't treat her the best. She is deemed a very plain Jane, and she's not part of society. In order to be part of society, to be seen as society, you need to like have a dragon as like your companion. Like, I don't know, it's a very strange thing to have, but you know, you need a dragon to be anywhere in society of any worth. And she looks after her cousin and helps out with her cousin, who is a brat, and shit goes down. and there's a little bit of a romance in this, which I'm not mad at. It's very cute. It's a cozy fantasy. I will say the love happens very quickly. So if you're not one for like romance, and it wasn't like a love at first sight kind of thing, but it literally happens, might as well have been, it happens within like a day that she realises she's like in love with this guy. So that does happen very fast, and if you can't suspend your disbelief with things like that, then maybe this isn't for you, but it was for me. Again, I have to be in the mood for like romancy books. I was very much in the mood for this at this particular point in my life. I needed some happiness, and this was like happy, romance, fun, dragon shenanigans. It was great. That was very vague. I'm sorry, but it was great. And the next one, I'm not going to say too much on this because I don't want to. I think this may change, this rating. I gave it 4 when I finished the book, but it's probably more of a 3.5, so it may get changed on my Goodreads. I think I put it as a 4 because I rounded it up, but it was Queen of Air in Darkness. I absolutely loved book 1 and 2. They were giving everything that I needed in a book. But book 3, essentially, in like long story short, was just too long, too heavy, and just things happened that I didn't like, and yeah, I'm really sad. I'm really sad that I didn't really love this book the way that I wanted to. It broke me the way that I expected it to, but it just wasn't the one for me, and I feel really bad saying that because it's one of Becca's favourite series, so it's not going to be up there with my favourite series at the moment, rating wise and probably vibe wise. The Infernal Devices is the top. Until I reach Chain of Thorns, Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, whichever way around it is. Last Hour's Trilogy, we'll see what that's like, and also the Wicked Powers. We'll see what that's like. But at the moment, I'd probably say this was my least favourite ending. Therefore, it's probably at the bottom of my Cassie Clare rankings. Mortal Instruments did technically get higher ratings overall. Let's move on to something happier, shall we? We shall. So, next up, we have a reread. Are we surprised that I reread this in March when I was in a depression and needed something happy to read? Cozy Fantasy. It's one of my favourite books ever by Travis Borgia. Have you heard of it? There you go. There's not much more to say. Legends and Lattes is my go-to read to make me feel good, to get my fantasy kick without it being too high fantasy, to get great narration, great characters. I need a Ratkin. If there is somebody who could make a Ratkin plush for me, make a Thimble plushie, I will buy it. Thank you. Please and thank you. I then read This Savage Song. This should have been in February for March, but I read it at the beginning of March. This was 5 stars. Made me cry. It was a lot. August is sad boy, but so cute. Kate, I didn't like at first, but I ended up really liking. So that was that was a 180 that I didn't expect. Yeah, I don't know what else to say to you about this. It's great. I highly recommend. Another V.E. Schwab that gets 5 stars. Are we surprised? We are not. Not surprised at all. Next up, Blue Exorcist Volume 3. 3? Is this one 3? Yes, 3. This, once again, Nakamura, son of Satan, blue light from a sword, turns into a thing with a tail when he holds sword. It's great. It's just a fun, quick palette cleanser. And I know that it's gonna, as it gets later on in the series, things are gonna happen, and it's probably gonna hurt me a lot because Jem has read ahead of me, And I'm not looking forward to that bit, but this bit was fun and funky, fresh and fabulous. And we got to meet Kuro, is that his name? Kuro, the cat. Where is the cat? This isn't the best picture of him, but look! I want to show you a better picture of the cat, but I can't. Next up, Fullmetal Alchemist Volume 2. I read this right at the beginning of the month, and I forgot what happened in this episode of the anime. In these episodes, some parts I was reading, I was like, oh shoot, that happened and that happened. Some parts of this I remember from the series, and some parts I totally forgot happened. One of which I'm really shocked that I did, because it was quite a big thing. But I love Alfonso and Edward. It's just the brotherly love that they have. Like, they would do anything for each other. So cute. And this is Alfonso. Look, he's adorable. I say adorable. He's a soul inside of a metal armor, but you know what I mean. It can be adorable. It can be adorable. I'm gonna try. What else did I read? The one thing that I read fully audibly was thank you to Meg for this recommendation. I was supposed to read it later on in the month when I was needing a bit of a break between all the crying, but I read it as soon as I had a chance to get my hands on it. And this is The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Jennings. It was 4 stars. It was a fine fun romp. Lots of smuttiness. It's exactly what it says on the tin, and it's not the best written thing in the world. It's not going to win any awards for like lyrical writing, but it was great. Highly recommend reading it if you like a fun smutty time. That is all I can say about it. And on this month's TBR is The Time I Got Drunk and Eated a Love Potion at a Werewolf. Yes, that is also the title. Thank you. I then read Dark Dawn. Dark Dawn was near the end of the month. Dark Dawn, what can we say? I was sat in a hotel with Jem, and I'm kind of, this is March because I read most of it in March and I read the last bit in April. So I was sat in a hotel with Jem. Jem was like 2 hours of the audio left. Oh, she had more than that at this point, I think. And I was way ahead of Jem at this point, and I was sat and listening to it while she was reading the manga, and I was sobbing at a particular part. And she couldn't do anything. She couldn't say anything. I couldn't talk to her about it because she hadn't read up to that part yet. So she was just sat there, like, checking that was okay while I was sobbing. It was a whole thing, and it happened, okay? But Dark Dawn, Nevernight series as a whole, 5-star series, will reread. There were so many things that I want to go back, and after discussing it with Chloe and Catherine and Smash, there's things that came up that I would just want to go back and reread. See if my opinion changed on anything, see if I can pick up things that, like little nuggets that I missed this time round. I just want to reread the whole series again, and I genuinely I really want the special editions that are still available on LitJoy. It's stressing me out that I can't get them. And then the final books that I read, I'm going to tell you about. Oh no, these aren't the final books. These are the final physical books, okay? So, Delilah Green doesn't care. As I mentioned, in the month of March I had a time, and I was looking for things that would make me happy. And Chloe and Smash were on backstage with me, and I put these on my wish list because they recommended them to me, and Chloe bought me this one. And then the second one was purchased for me. Oh, this wasn't in my haul. I've just realised that this wasn't in my haul. I will add another clip at the end of my haul to add these in. But this was gifted to me by Chloe, and then Ashford Parker doesn't fail or never fails is Booktube, and Smash bought me that one. So thank you girls for these. And this was 5 stars. Delilah is great. Claire is great. This whole thing, this book was wonderful. Wonderful. I can't say much more than that. I don't have anywhere to put it because my contemporary shelf is now full, but it's going somewhere. The next one was another Chloe recommendation, and it was actually the pick, 12 books, 12 prompts pick. and it's red, white and royal blue. Once again, 5 stars. So good. The characters, the romance, the I hate you but I don't really hate you. Clearly from the start we all knew that you didn't really hate him, but it was fun. And just the exploration of feelings. And like the texting and like the funny bits and then the turkey. It was fun. Okay? It was great. I want to reread it already. And I also have considered getting a special edition from Live Crate. And then I think this is the final book. Is this the final book? Is this the final book? No, it's not. It's the final physical book. This, Jade War. I read this predominantly audibly. It just, I thought Jade City was here, but this was just like ridiculous. Things happen in this, like Hilo did things that I did not expect him to do. The characters were all just, they're all crazy. They're all just, I don't know how to explain this without spoilers, because obviously this is the second book in a series. So for those of you who read it, you'll know what I mean. But me and Chelsea were both like, oh my god, I cannot believe that you've just done that. I can't, I don't know what's going on. But it was fun. And I'm scared to go into Jade Legacy because I have no idea how this is going to go. But do you know what as well? This spans over the space of like 5 years, this middle book. 5 years? It might not be 5 years, it might only be 3 in this one. But it's done so well that it doesn't feel like a really long passage of time. Nothing is dragged out, nothing is over-explained. The way that it's written, it follows them over a long period of time, but we still are kept up to date with what each person's doing, and we'd never feel like, even though they haven't like documented in the books like every single thing that happened to all of them throughout those 3 years, we don't feel like we've missed anything. Like the major parts of their lives, things that happened, is still sort of explained, but not, I don't know how to explain it. Everything that was mentioned about the characters was all relevant and made sense to the plot, but also didn't make you feel like you'd missed anything. Hopefully that made sense. If it didn't, I'm sorry. But anyway, finally, The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. I know, Meg, I'm sorry, I should have read this first, but this was another 5 stars. Mia Sosa, she's up there. She's 2 out of 2 with 5 stars. So The Wedding Crusher and Worst Best Man, companion books. I wasn't aware of this when I got The Wedding Crusher, but so much fun. I really want to read The Wedding Crusher again now, but I'm not gonna because I can't. But I read that purely audibly and I want the physical copy. It was just brilliant. The characters were funny. She has this way of making you laugh and it doesn't feel like she's trying too hard, which for me is the best kind of humour. If you're trying to make me laugh and it's obvious that you are trying to make me laugh, then I'm just not going to bother laughing. It's not going to be funny. If the humour is there and it's not intended and it's not thrown in your face, it's just, and it feels like actual banter that could be between 2 people, and you can show me that the characters have got chemistry, yes. And again, another fun palette cleanser for in between the darkness that was Queen of Iron Darkness, Dark Dawn, Mockingjay. I didn't tell you about Mockingjay. I finished so many series this year. Woo! So the final one wasn't Worst Best Man, it was Mockingjay. I read this right at the beginning of the month, and it didn't make me cry as much as I thought it was going to do, but I did cry a lot near the end because of things, and it wasn't what people expected me to cry at. It was something else, but it was such a good series. I highly recommend that you read that if you haven't already, but most people will have read it by now, will have seen it by now, but I'm just slow and basic, so I apologise. I really cannot wait to get hold of the films and watch them, but that's a next month thing. This month I have priorities, but yeah, once again, I know that I said I didn't read what I was expecting to read. Like, I had Adjuware, Jade Legacy, and some other like arcs that I wanted to get to. I didn't get to last month. Heliotrope that I wanted to read, I didn't get to, and I need to read that this month. So there was a couple of things that I really wanted to get around to reading that I didn't. But from what I read, the most part of what I read, I really enjoyed. And yes, some of them were graphic novels and manga and really short reads, but quite a few were just purely audiobooks because I got them on Scribd or BookBee. But those are the things that I needed to get me through the month, so that I didn't totally have a mental breakdown. So this month hopefully will be better. Bear with me while I get my life together. And yeah, if you do like me and you want to see more of me, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. If you are here and you want to let me know you hear me don't have anything to say, then please leave a black heart, very much appreciated. And if you have any recommendations of what I can read, then just leave everything linked. I'll leave everything linked below. There's a Google form you can fill in, or you can comment and let me know what you want me to read. Yeah, I'll see you all next month. I don't know what I'm doing. Bye.
Every time I fall in love, it seems to be at the